Have you ever walked into a room and just stopped because your cat is sitting in the exact same slumped-over posture you use on the couch? Or maybe you've noticed they only seem hungry when you're eating, or they get a case of the zoomies right when you're tidying up. If you've ever looked at your cat and thought, "That's me, but furry," you're not imagining it. A lot of us cat owners are seeing our cats act like tiny, four-legged versions of ourselves, and this isn't just a funny social media trend anymore. A wave of new studies and expert explainers are digging into something called cat mirroring. This is where our cats copy our routines, our behaviors, and even our emotional states. It's a surprisingly advanced social strategy that tells us a lot about how they see us and the life we share. So, what exactly is cat mirroring? Behavior guides define it as a pattern where cats copy the actions, routines, or even the moods of another individual, which is usually us, their owner. This can get really specific. They might insist on eating only when you sit down for a meal. They might follow you from room to room like a tiny, furry shadow. Or they might even choose to rest in the same weird, contorted position you're in. One vet-approved explanation breaks it down: cats might mirror our routines, like when we eat or sleep. They might converse back with meows and chirps when we talk to them. Or they might simply shadow our every move through the house. It's a fascinating mix of affection, social learning, and just staying totally tuned in to the person who basically runs their entire world. What's really exciting is that scientists are finally taking this seriously. A peer-reviewed study in the journal Animal Cognition used a method called Do As I Do to test a cat's imitation skills. The cat was literally asked to imitate human actions after seeing them. And guess what? The cat was able to repeat specific behaviors on command, like touching an object or making a certain movement, with a shockingly high success rate. This suggests that cats can actually map our human actions onto their own bodies and intentionally copy them when they're remotivated. So they're much better imitators than we ever gave them credit for. Their copying isn't random. It's directly connected to their bond with us, their motivation, and how closely they're paying attention. Beyond formal experiments, tons of articles are now discussing how cats mirror our everyday lives. Behavior experts point out that many cats naturally sync their schedules to ours. They wake up when we wake up. They head to the kitchen when we do. They start looking for their dinner right around the time we're thinking about ours. And they finally settle down for the night when they see us sit or lie down. A vet review piece even notes that cats might choose to nap when we nap or relax when we're relaxing, as a form of social comfort. It's like they're coordinating with us. Some even appear to copy our posture, choosing similar positions on the bed or the couch, because aligning their body language with ours makes them feel included and safe. It's their way of saying, "We're in this together," but it gets even deeper. The emotional side of this is just as fascinating. A recent article on emotional mirroring described how a cat's mood can directly reflect the emotional state of their owner, especially when there's a close bond. Research from the UK found that owners' personalities and stress levels can actually shape their cats' temperaments. For instance, more anxious owners often have cats that show more behavioral issues or anxiety traits themselves. Now, this doesn't mean your cat is catching your mood like a cold. It means they are incredibly perceptive. They pick up on our emotional patterns, our tone of voice, how fast we move, our daily routines, and our reactions to things. And they adjust themselves to either match us or respond to us. So if your cat seems extra calm on your chill days, but becomes restless or clingy when you're stressed, that's emotional mirroring in action. So why do they do this? Some articles have pointed to the creepy reason your cat copies you, and it's not really creepy, just incredibly smart. Scientists explain that cats might not be mimicking just for fun. It's a survival strategy. Think about it. We control their entire environment. We decide feeding times, noise levels, when the lights go on and off, and when they get attention. By mirroring us, cats stay in sync with the main decision maker in their life. They watch our rhythms to predict what's going to happen next. Aligning with us makes their world feel more stable and secure. In this view, your cat's imitation is a brilliant adaptive behavior. Copying you is their way of understanding your world and having some sense of control in a life where you hold all the cards. Social bonding is another huge piece of the puzzle. Mirroring is common across many social animals and is almost always linked to building trust and cooperation. New research even used AI to analyze cat facial expressions and found that cats mirror each other's facial signals during friendly interactions, especially during play. This rapid facial mimicry often leads to positive contact, like grooming. If cats mirror other cats to build trust and keep things friendly, it makes perfect sense that they'd use the same strategy on the humans they're close to. So when your cat sits like you, slow blinks back at you, or meows in response when you talk, they're using a cross-species version of that same bonding behavior. Mirroring also shows up in how your cat learns practical skills from you. Have you ever seen your cat try to open a door, paw at a handle, or tap at buttons on a device? They're often copying motions they've seen you make. In some cases, it's clear problem solving. They saw you open something and they're trying a simplified cat version of it. In other cases, it's social play. They might repeat a movement like tapping a light switch or pawing at your keyboard because they've seen you focus on those objects and they want to be part of the game. Either way, their brain isn't just watching. It's processing, testing, and learning. And of course, there's the simple fact that some cats are just extremely social. They want to be wherever you are, doing whatever you're doing. Vet-approved guides on mirroring explain that these cats follow their owners around, respond vocally in conversations, and even align their bodies to face the same direction as you. They mirror us partly for learning and partly just for affection. Being close and in sync with you makes them feel like they're part of your group, your family. When you stretch and your cat stretches, you lie down and your cat flops down beside you. You sigh and your cat lets out a long meow right back at you. It feels like a joke, but it's also how they maintain that vital connection. So, as a cat parent, how do you know if this mirroring is a good sign or a red flag? Most of the time, it's incredibly positive. It usually indicates a strong social bond, a cat who feels safe and secure enough to relax around you, and a cat who's paying very close attention to your patterns. A cat that naps when you do and joins you for meals is showing that they trust your judgment. Your rhythm is their security blanket. However, if your cat seems to mirror your stress more than your calm, that's a signal to pay attention. If they're restless when you're anxious or hiding when you're overwhelmed, it can be a useful, if uncomfortable, reflection of the emotional environment at home. Experts point out that cats living with very stressed humans can become more reactive, which might show up as aggression, overgrooming, or litter box issues. In that case, your cat turning into you is a mirror you might not want to look at, but it's valuable feedback. So, what can you do with this knowledge? First, you can use it to build better routines. Since you know your cat mirrors you, you can intentionally create healthy, predictable patterns, consistent feeding times, scheduled play sessions, and a calm wind down before bed. Your cat will likely sync to these, making life smoother for both of you. Second, you can be more mindful of the emotional energy you're modeling. You don't have to be a Zen master, but if you're constantly rushing around or shouting, your cat may mirror that tension. Small changes like speaking softer or moving more smoothly around them can make a huge difference. And finally, you can appreciate mirroring for what it truly is, a massive compliment. Cats don't bother copying individuals they don't care about. They mirror the ones who matter. So if your cat is slowly turning into you, following your steps, napping when you nap, and sitting like you sit, it means that in their eyes, you are worth watching. You are the center of their universe, the pattern they are trying to match. So the next time you catch your cat sitting like a tiny, judgmental version of you, don't just laugh. Recognize it for what it is: social intelligence, emotional tracking, and a deep connection, all wrapped in fur. Your cat isn't just living with you. They're learning you, mirroring you, and in their own strange and wonderful way, choosing to become a little bit of you too. If you just realized your cat is slowly turning into your tiny furry twin, hit that like button so more cat parents can decode this mirroring, and subscribe for more deep cat psychology made for us cat guardians. Thanks for watching.